this exhibition is about a friendship, kind of, a friendship and competition between two main characters of Italian Renaissance. Could you explain?
Yes, I'm very happy to say that this is the first time that these two artists are ever brought together. Two artists, you might say, you wonder why they haven't been brought together before. These are not only two of the greatest artists of the Italian Renaissance, but also two artists who were intermarried. Andrea Mantegna in 1453 married the half-sister of Giovanni Bellini. So it's not only the story, the tale of two of the greatest artists in Western art, but it's also a story about family and about an exhibition that tries to narrate their careers over more than 50 years from the mid-15th century right into the early 16th century.
And it's amazing to see how you were able to gather so many masterpieces of the Renaissance, right?
Yes, we are exceptionally grateful to many of our lenders. I mean, it is an undertaking that I think owes much to the collaboration of four institutions, the National Gallery in London being one, but also the British Museum in London, and then their counterparts in Berlin, the Gemäldegalerie in Berlin, and also the Kupferstichkabinett there. It is really the collaboration of these four institutions and their curators that has helped us to get some of the loans that otherwise never leave the museums from which, or very rarely leave the museums from which they come. It really helped that undertaking.
And Bellini and Mantegna are two pioneers in the art.
They absolutely are. You could almost go as far as to say that Giovanni Bellini is perhaps the father of the Venetian school, of the Venetian painting tradition. It is in his workshop that Titian and Giorgione grew up. We couldn't think of Veronese, of Tintoretto, of Bassano without the influence of
the poor Mantegna.
And poor Mantegna, well, Mantegna sort of at some point leaves that narrative. He's active in Mantua for most of his life.
But what influence?
A very important port city. He has a different upbringing. Giovanni Bellini grows up in the workshop of his father. Andrea Mantegna is the son of a carpenter. He finds his way into art through what you could say exploitative workshop of Francesco Squarcione, where he works alongside Marco Zoppo, Carlo Crivelli, Bartolomeo Vivarini, and several others.
But the posterity, who shall be super influenced by Mantegna, you think?
Well, I mean, Mantegna was a major influence to a lot of artists. I mean, we are very fortunate, for example, to have with us a third of the so-called triumphs of Caesar, one of the major, perhaps the most important Renaissance cycle outside of Italy. It's preserved at Hampton Court. And it has been in England ever since the first half of the 17th century, where it would have been seen by so many artists. In fact, we have an exhibition currently in parallel on the American artist Thomas Cole. And even in his great series of paintings known as The Course of Empire, you do find references to the triumphs of Caesar, but Rubens produced versions after Mantegna's paintings when Rubens was in London. So the influence of Mantegna cannot be overestimated.
Merci.